What's going on? It's your boy Sermon, at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. Kid Cudi may have pushed back his album, which prevented us from getting two Andre 3000 guest features this week. Luckily, we get an Andre 3000 verse from an unlikely source. The artist in question is Silk Money. He's a part of the Divine Council. They're a collective that have been making noise online. And as to how Andre found out about them, got on the song, and why, nobody knows. But this is really the first time that Andre has sort of extended his cosign beyond a known artist. These are lesser known artists still making noise on the internet, but they're not household names like a Drake or a Rick Ross. So this was a unique choice for Andre to do. The record is titled Decemba, and it's a remix. The song has been out for a while. It's gotten over 160,000 plays on SoundCloud, which is a really nice fact. And I feel like this is the type of record, sound-wise, that can take off. It's the type of record that really fits in this generation. And I think I say that about a lot of music, but I think artists know what works and what doesn't work in this generation for the most part. So if you're going to try to make what works and you kind of fit into that sound, I think December might be one of the stronger singles that we've heard this year. I love the hook. The hook goes, hold that bitch up like Simba, then drop that hoe down like December. Put dick up in her like an animal. Fuck that little hoe like she my enemy. Over and over again. And I think it's also the energy that Silk puts into it, which leads me into the beat. The production is just wild. It's very energetic, and I think that helps with Silk's flow during his verse. He pretty much makes it seem effortless. The topic, he's on that player stuff, and he's able to pretty much make it sound effortless, and I know it's that flow. I really like that. First impressions are very important, and I think Silk Money nails his. I really want to hear more from him, and even the Divine Council too. Now we get to Andre 3000's part. Whenever Andre drops a verse, there's so much to deconstruct from it. He is just in a totally different place when it comes to inspiration for verses. On this one in particular, he tells a story about a guy who meets and flirts with and eventually sleeps with a female deputy officer. And somehow that leads to the police trying to kill him while he's having sex with the deputy. So it's a very wild ride, in my opinion. And I love it because it's what inspired this for Andre to write about it? I was trying to see if there was maybe any historical context to it, but there's really not. And I think the verse really comes to a head at the end. There's a climax at the end, and I mean that literally. The police are storming this house, and he's having sex with this deputy, and also shooting at the officers. I'm guessing as they come into the room or as they peep by the window. I don't really know the whole context of everything, but it's a really fascinating verse to hear from Andre. It's one of those things where you just listen to it and you're you want to know the backstory. What was going through his head when he wrote this? And then he has a little monologue at the end. And I think he's trying to kind of work out a movie plot. And it makes sense for the verse. The verse does feel like it could be extended into a movie. But his little monologue at the end is about redemption. In a sense that the guy who was having sex with the female deputy gets killed naturally, because you're not going to kill a bunch of cops and go back to having sex, whatever. And his baby grows up and gets redemption, kills a bunch of cops, but it doesn't make too much sense. It's Andre's just trying to pull the movie plot out of his head, kind of freestyling it, and he's no, that just doesn't work. It's not a good idea. I thought it was a cool little way to end the song, and I'm very fascinated by his verse, just in particular. The whole song as a whole is just really great. It's been on repeat since last night, and I'm definitely gonna add it to my iPod and iTunes and continue to listen to it, enjoy it. My final thoughts are, I feel like Andre is gearing up for something. First off, in iTunes, now his name goes by Andre Benjamin, his real name. And I noticed that when Kid Cudi put out his track listing and it said Andre Benjamin twice. So I wonder if he's changing his name, dropping the 3000 part, at least for whatever he's gearing up for. I feel like there's going to be like a solo album in the works coming, because earlier this year we heard rumblings about it. Andre himself told Billboard he wants to put out an album, and pretty much like we'll see if it happens. And then in April, I remember Chris Rock saying him and a bunch of other people are working on Andre's album. And then you had Gucci Mane snap just a few weeks ago where he said, I just did a record with Outkast, which then Outkast's rep denied it because they have to deny it. They're trying to keep it pretty much a secret, I would assume. So I feel like Andre's gearing up for something. He's never been on back-to-back high-profile albums like he has this year, and he's just been the most active, from Kanye to Frank Ocean to Kid Cudi to Travis Scott. He's been all over the place, and I don't think we've heard the last of him this year. So I'm excited to see where it goes from there. And even Silk Money and the Divine Council, this cosign is going to take them pretty far. They're already getting coverage on all the major blogs, so I'm interested and tuned in to whatever they put out next, whether it be like a mixtape, an album, solo albums from the group. I don't know what their intentions are, but I'm definitely tuned in and looking forward to see what they produce next and how they leverage this cosign into more buzz. So those are my thoughts on the December remix by Silk Money featuring Andre 3000. Please listen to the song. It's phenomenal. And then let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. And then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter @SermonsDomain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.